getting into Bolingbrook. Crash cleanup continues in the 2 left lanes. Now we have a big backup on the tollways on the Tri-State northbound from the Bishop Ford Freeway to before Halstead. That is a stall blocking the left lane. Major delays continue near the Des Plaines River Bridge on both sides of I-80. Stop and go eastbound past Humboldt. You have a multi-vehicle crash at the bridge in the left lane. Getting reports maybe up to 4 vehicles involved. Stick with US 52 or US 6. You have a big Gapers delay westbound starting at US 30. And now in northwest Indiana, a stalled semi on 65 northbound at 8094. It's in the left lane on the ramp getting westbound. Your next report from the Metro Traffic Center, 438, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
Blue skies, 54 degrees at 429.
If you need windows, you need Climate Guard. We've been making windows in Chicago for over 45 years. Purchase with confidence, backed by our price match guarantee. Great financing available. Visit ClimateGuardWindows.com today to schedule a free in-home estimate.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something. With up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at Hellsberg.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. A woman is dead shortly after she was found naked in the back of a stolen SUV.
This is Bernie Tafoya, a convicted murderer out of prison for more than a year, finds himself in a controversy after he's found to be using a dating app.
Mayor Johnson pushes pause on a proposed new police station on the city's southwest side. Plus, another partial government shutdown is on the horizon with U.S. senators in disagreement about how to fund the Department of Homeland Security in business.
Wall Street ending this Friday mixed and little changed. The Dow up 49 points, the NASDAQ down 50, the S&P adding 3. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Sunny skies, 54 degrees at 4:31. Chicago police trying to put a timeline together after the death of a woman. WBBM's Mike Krauser tells us she was initially found unresponsive and naked inside a stolen SUV.
Police responded to the 3200 block of North Damon Avenue just after 3 p.m. A 911 caller had said they found their Nissan Pathfinder parked there. It had been stolen. The woman, who police say was 39, was found in the back seat, still breathing. CPR was performed, and she was taken to Illinois Masonic, where she was pronounced dead. At this point, they're conducting a death investigation. Mike Krauser, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
4:32, a convicted murderer who has been out of prison for more than a year finds himself in a center of a controversy over dating apps.
Paul Madrowski now works as a researcher for Northwestern University and contends on his blog that he never intended to deceive women on the League app by leaving out information about his murder conviction. He says he wanted personal connections to develop before he addressed his criminal history with those people. The Trib reports social media blew up over Madrowski being on dating sites, with some people warning women about him. Madrowski served 30 years of a life sentence. He was convicted even though investigators could not place him at the scene of Dean Fawcett's murder and dismemberment in Barrington in 1993. Bernie Tafoya, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Oh, the idea to move a Southwest Side Police District into an unused building at Midway Airport may be in a holding pattern for a little while.
It's been a week since 9 Chicago aldermen asked Mayor Brandon Johnson's administration for a meeting to talk about a proposal to turn the old National Guard Armory off 63rd Street into a new home for the 8th Police District. West Lawn Alderman Marty Quinn said the officers there need the space, but the mayor has ignored them, even after getting the state to agree to sell the city the building for $1.
This is a no-brainer.
Here at City Hall this week, the mayor said it's not that simple.
If you're talking about the redistribution of officers, that will have an impact on districts.
He said any project like this needs to be viewed holistically, and he's considering whether it represents an equitable distribution of resources and whether the city has the money to move forward. By the way, the meeting has not yet been scheduled. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Students both here and across the nation continue to take a stand against the Trump administration's immigration policies. Today, organizers of an annual conference of Hispanic college students in Chicago are touching on the impact of this weekend's convention. U.S. Hispanic Leadership Institute President Dr. Juan Andrade says 10 states that sent students to last year's conference did not take part this year, in part due to concerns that students could be detained during an anti-ICE protest in Chicago. He also says cuts in DEI programs kept a lot of students away, including all but one university from Ohio.
We have a very close friend who is a distinguished alumni from Ohio State University, and they are the only state university president because he personally, out of his own pocket, sponsored 13 students to come, covering their airfare, their lodging, and registration.
Nearly 2,000 students from across the country are in Chicago for the 44th annual convention. Well, another partial government shutdown looms near, with the White House and Senate Democrats at odds over funding for ICE and the Department of Homeland Security. We get the latest now from CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
In Washington, parts of the government are said to be frozen because of anger over ICE. Senate Democrats are refusing to fund the Department of Homeland Security unless there are changes like restricting agents from wearing masks and tightening rules around warrants.
Unless there are really strong, meaningful reforms to rein in ICE and stop the violence, there will not be Democratic votes to fund ICE and extend the awful status quo that now exists.
They want our law enforcement to be totally vulnerable and put them in a lot of danger. They have some things that are really very hard to approve.
Democratic leaders demanding changes to ICE and CBP, the border control, in exchange for their votes to fund DHS. Meantime, a Customs and Border Patrol officer is finding himself in the hot seat. He's facing charges for allegedly harboring his undocumented immigrant girlfriend.
The Justice Department says CBP officer and supervisor Andres Wilkinson was living in Laredo, Texas, with a woman who had overstayed her temporary visa. The criminal complaint says he was aware she was in the country illegally, but still had a romantic relationship with her. Prosecutors also say there's information the woman may be Wilkinson's niece and that she's married to another man. If convicted, Wilkinson could face up to 10 years in prison. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And Facebook parent Meta planning to add facial recognition to its smart glasses.
The facial recognition technology is called Name Tag and would allow people wearing smart glasses to identify people and get information about them. It would work through the company's AI assistant. Facebook shut down the facial recognition system 5 years ago, and the ACLU calls it ripe for abuse. The UK's National Physical Laboratory and MIT have found significant racial bias in the technology. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Chuck Swirsky here. Join Bill Weddington and me for all the high-flying action of every Bulls game.
What's up, Marietta? Happy Friday the 13th. How you doing, my sister? You enjoying the weather? Did you open up your windows today? Those crackheads and prostitutes and gangbangers bothering you? You can't open those windows probably by you. You seen me? They're at my neighbor. They're right out. They sprayed up our garage yesterday or the day before. It's everywhere's crime, man. So if you're just tuning in, this is SubX.News Live, on the spot reporting. We're running downtown. We're going to check out if the lovers are out here on Michigan Ave buying their gifts for their significant others. I doubt it.
Of course,
somebody just fell in the river over here, by the way, today.
Theme of the day, 4:37.
This message is brought to you by
And he was rescued and resuscitated by the Wendella boats over here.
This is one organic brand.
There's a little bit of traffic today. There's a little bit of traffic.
Most mattresses rely on synthetic foams and chemical materials.
There's that guy who he was convicted of dismembering his girlfriend. He did 30 years in the joint. He got out, and he still got on a dating app. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I got on a dating app. That was the news story you just heard. A white dude chopped up his girlfriend and whatever. And he just got out of the joint. There you go, man. There you go. Closed store right there. Another one. I didn't even notice that one. See that closed store there? There you go, man. There ain't no many people out there. The cops are right there, man. Look at that. They're standing by the closed store. I don't know. It's closed. What are you regarding?
Bestmattress.com/radio.
They're guarding that closed store there,
Lowest
man.
gas prices from News Radio 105.9.
At least can you open your windows without the drug dealers bothering you?
Ford.com.
Marietta?
Competitors auto show deal on any F-150 Ranger Maverick.
Going down Michigan Avenue, going southbound from Oak.
In Evanston, the BP on Howard and Clark has gas for $2.84 a gallon. In Forest Park, Pacifico on Randolph and Belvedere has gas for
Yesterday was a busy day.
Coming up.
This is Brandon.
I didn't do my regular report in the morning because I just went to sleep yesterday. It was so wild, man. So many carjackings, the stabbing on 47th Street. There's more cops over there. You see that there? There's more cops right there. See that there? There's a lot of cops out here. See that there? There you go, man. It's a lot of cops out here.
Looking at the expressways, starting on I-55 in Will County, really busy traffic continues into Bolingbrook. This is on the northbound side, passing Weber to the Veterans Tollway. Crash cleanup continues to block 2 left lanes. We're seeing a
BMW Southern Lakeshore Drive, left lane, baby, 1800 south, bell tower hit. Has the light colors today in the left lane, 2200 north. And then 5000 North Lakeshore Drive, bus versus a car, auto accident with injuries. 13,
Lakeshore Drive's messed up.
1-5, you're taking that one? Alright, it says southbound near Argyle, fire is en route. Section. Well, based on my stop, I think we'll check out the 1800 south. Yes. Planning northbound, blue BMW south on Lakeshore Drive says left lane. 9, I'll go check it out. Alright.
There you go, burglary in progress on Chappelle. Burglary in progress.
3-6 David. 10-3-6 David. 2 numbers, which you call it, that line up around there.
09085 What's up, everybody?
Will be required to certify that they are not hiring based on race or sex, and failure to do so could subject the airlines to a federal investigation. The FAA administrator says someone's race, sex, or creed has nothing to do with their ability to fly and land aircraft safely. Duffy hopes in part that the measure will increase transparency between passengers and airlines.
Scrolling and wondered, can I trust this? You are not alone.
Looking ahead, we know that AI can write it, AI can fake it.
And AI can spread it.
But AI still can't get into the street to report on the story.
That takes real journalists and real accountability.
Before a story reaches you,
real people take time to check it and confirm it.
Because trust still matters.
News Radio 105.9 WBDM.
Reputation. It's invaluable. Especially
I hope everybody's having a great Friday the 13th. Get out and open those windows. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Might get up to 60s, they say, this weekend. Open those windows, get some fresh air. All the old book. I keep telling people I got so many projects to do this year. One of the projects is I'm going to start publishing books under SubX.News because we're a media company and a publishing company. I'm going to republish all these old books and show people that the old books were pretty simple. Even the old plague books. I read these really old books about the plague.
Second number for joint deployment, UAS, Adam, Sam, Tom, at 1108 South Spalding, please. Spalding or Springfield? Spalding. Okay. Yeah, usually it's Springfield. 09124, 09124. 73834. 73834. I think you've been over for 95th and the rail line. 09128.
And most of these old books, even the plague book, that was about the black plague where your tongue would turn black. Yeah, black spots on you. They wrote that the best medicine for the plague is sunshine and fresh air. And remember the old tuberculosis sanitariums, there's the one, that's the old Bohemian National Cemetery. And over there by Peterson Park up there on the north side, it's the Swedish retirement place now, man. Oh, yeah, they had the person drown over here. You see that? All the news cameras are out here. This guy's jacking around in back of me. He's beeping his horn. And they said the best medicine for the plague was fresh air and sunshine, right? That's the best thing. And you need clean water. That's one of the reasons they did this in Chicago with the parks and the boulevards and the lake. They made the lake always public. They made the boulevards so you can walk in green areas. And they made all the public parks free and open with field houses. McKinley Park is the first place with a field house. It was because of the Spanish flu. And they said, you need these places to stay healthy. Man, they're starting to beg on the streets again. Over there, the migrants are starting to beg again, right? And that's the best medicine. What's happening in the last 4 years, they've made these houses with the HVACs and all of this stuff that's enclosed, and you're not getting the fresh air and you're not getting the sunshine to stay healthy. And the second thing is you need to exercise, move around. You need to read the good books and have positive attitude. That's a little later on, right? But those are the things that we need to stay healthy. So that's why I say open your windows, get some fresh air. And let's listen to the news if there's anything.
Snowmobile course, and even though he passed at least 3 signs warning cars weren't allowed, he stayed on it. The driver and his passenger were stranded in knee-deep snow until they were eventually winced out, and he didn't get a ticket. Someone on eBay selling what they claim is a costume from Bad Bunny's halftime show, specifically part of the sugarcane scene. My favorite, the green tracksuit, comes with grass-covered arms and more fake grass attached to the shoulder harness. It only comes in medium with a starting bid of $5,000. I think that's going to be your next costume in October for Halloween. It's 4:46. Time to visit Turnkey.pro, your small business champion, and it's time for sports and an upset on the ice, Adam Sadzinski.
Oh my, yes. U.S. figure skater Ilya Malinin, the heavy favorite for gold in the men's individual contest, didn't even make the podium. He fell twice in his free skate today. That dropped him from first after the short program to 8th overall. He had not lost in over 2 years. A positive result for the U.S. today. The U.S. women's hockey team blew out Italy in the quarterfinals, 6-0 the final there. It was a 5-goal onslaught in the second period, which helped the U.S. pull away in that one. And the Cubs made an intriguing move today. They're reportedly signing free agent reliever Shelby Milner to a multi-year deal. He'll likely miss most of the upcoming season after having Tommy John surgery last year. He was pretty good when he was healthy last season. He had a 1.98 ERA in 37 appearances with the Diamondbacks. With sports at 16 and 46, I'm 104.3. The Score is Adam Stasinski on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Hi, Adam. Sports sponsored by Jewel Osco. 4:48 now. Time for traffic, and here's Neil.
All right, we have some pretty high travel times, guys, here on our expressways. We're going to start on the Stevenson. It sounds like a new crash now on the outbound side. Before LaGrange Road, it's on the shoulder, but traffic really heavy from King Drive to the scene. 40 minutes if you're going to Cicero Avenue and maybe heading out toward Midway Airport. 56 to the Tri-State, hour 10 to the Veterans Tollway. 43 to drive in, you're 35 in from the Tri-State. Crash cleanup continues on I-55 northbound at 355 in the two left lanes, and that's why you're still really heavy passing Weber Road as you make your way into Bolingbrook. You might want to use Mountain Road. That's a good alternate to avoid 55 for right now. On the Tri-State Tollway, a couple of issues. Starting northbound, you're stop and go from the Bishop Ford to before Halstead. You have a stall there blocking the left lane. Now, southbound traffic really jammed up from Irving Park Road to before Ogden. That's a new two-vehicle crash blocking the left lane. Looking in northwest Indiana, 65 northbound on the brakes, passing Ridge to 8094. A stalled semi just cleared from the ramp to westbound 8094. We are seeing backups on both sides of 8094 through northwest Indiana as well. Travel times on your expressways, Eden's coming in 35. Kennedy about an hour to and from O'Hare. On the Eisenhower, an hour 7 out to the Jane Addams. Coming in from I-90, an hour 10. Looking over on the Dan Ryan, 45 out, 20 minutes in. Coming in on the Dan Ryan, you might want to stick with the local lanes, a little heavier in the express. I-57 about 19 either way. The Bishop Ford, 20 minutes to and from 8094. Nothing out of the ordinary on DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You're packed into the Gold Coast through Graham Park, and southbound traffic is heavy getting into Jackson Park. Your next report's at 4:58. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM active in the forecast. Clear to partly cloudy for tonight.
They call the cops on the Bucket Boys before. There you go, the Bucket Boys. See them over there? The Bucket Boys.
On Sunday, now late from 52 to
it's all weed smell around here, man. All you smell is weed around here. Shit. All you smell. Weed.
Dedicated to news around the clock. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The high cost of housing is the number one economic concern for millions of Americans. A real estate expert says it's a difficult problem with no easy answers.
A number of first-time home buyers leave the housing market in frustration, feeling locked out by higher prices and a lack of choices. Chicago-based real estate writer Steve Kirch says a concerted effort to rehab existing housing stock can ease the inventory crunch, but he adds it would be difficult to pull off.
A lot of it could be rehabbed and could be upgraded, and folks could make those into starter homes, but A, who's going to lend them the money to do it? B, they still got to get down payments. They still have to have a good job and be confident in that job. And right now, we don't have many of those factors working in home buyers' favor.
We talk about the high cost of shelter with Steve Kirch and Drew Wishover of the Inspired Title Group this week on At Issue. You can hear the conversation Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new study is shedding some light on the hidden world of online amphibian sales.
Scientists at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign analyzed 2 decades of online ads and identified more than 300 species of frogs and other amphibians being bought and sold in the U.S. They then compared that list to federal wildlife import records and found at least 44 species had no matching paperwork. Many of those animals were native to countries with long-standing trade bans, suggesting they may have been smuggled or mislabeled along the way. Researchers say while many amphibians are legally captive bred,
no
import
plates.
records and online marketplaces can create loopholes.
That expensive car there ain't got no plates, no stickers, no none. It's probably ripped off right in front of you, right there. See that there? Ain't got no plates, ain't got no tags, ain't got nothing. That car has zero, nothing. It's driving around downtown Chicago right now. Probably a ripped off car. Or some crime or some bullshit. Right there, it's in front of you. I'm not making this stuff up. I've been tracking that for 3 years downtown. Wrong plates, no plates, out-of-state plates. It's 4:52 p.m. What are they doing, man? That car should be pulled over, impounded, and locked up. That's it. Until you get your plates, man. You shouldn't be driving around without plates. But there you go. Where's the cops at? Oh, they're giving tickets out to parking people, right? Or they're towing your car when you're a tourist, right? Yeah, there's stuff going on. We're going to go on State Street. I hear some stuff going on over there. We're going to check out the dope spot here on South Loop. The dope spot that didn't close down to all the businesses. That dope spot, right? Where 12 people arrested by the feds. That dope spot. Yeah, the dope dealers and gentrifiers are weird. You know what? Lately, we got attacked like big time today by a Hispanic profile that were racist because we were putting up gentrification videos. Remember, yesterday we put up videos about empty Michigan Avenue in downtown. Then we went out to the west side for the carjacking crashes, and we showed videos of empty buildings on the west side. We were on Central Park, we're on Madison, we're on Roosevelt. We showed you guys all of that stuff. And then we went down to Little Village, and we're showing you stuff in Little Village of closed down businesses. All of our gentrification, anti-gentrification posts were attacked by a Mexican profile saying we were racist. I don't understand, man. You can smell the weed. It must be coming from that white car, probably that Porsche car. I bet you it is. Yeah, you can smell the weed. It's really bad downtown right now. So if you came downtown and you want to do Valentine's Day with your sweetheart, you don't like weed, you're going to have a lot of weed smell down here, man. It's probably that white car, I'm telling you. So all of our gentrification videos got hit by a Hispanic profile on Facebook saying that we're racist. I have no idea how an anti-gentrification video is racist. How is an anti-gentrification video racist? I have no clue. So I have editors, right? Oh, it's green light, man. Here I am talking, right? Do we want to do a sunset? Yeah, let's check out the dope spot, then we're going to go check out the sunset. So I have a bunch of other editors, and they're checking the posts and all of this stuff and blocking them, erasing. We erased a lot of stuff, right? The racists and the MAGAs and the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazis, the Antifas. We try to erase all of that stuff. So one of my editors and admins of the page says, hey, man, we're getting a whole bunch of these. And I said, which posts, right? Because I got up a little late today. And they said, these. And I said, that's gentrification. It's weird. And then it clicked to me who these are. That's the teachers union. The teachers union is driving gentrification. Yes, the Chicago Teachers Union is driving gentrification in Chicago. They're backed by white liberals in Evanston, Oak Park, Naperville, Barrington. All these white liberals, they're the real estate people and the developers. They're the ones that got $30 or $40 million for the Congress Theater, and they never fixed it. But they got $30 to $40 million, and they don't even fix it. They're the ones that get all these projects. They get the money from, right? White liberals, mostly white liberals. So I'm starting to put one and one together because I'm like, why would we get attacked when we write about gentrification and do videos? It's not racism. I'm not picking a race over another. I say, look, here's a Mexican neighborhood. The Mexican restaurant shut down. There must be something going on. It has to do with government and the economy, where the government is messing with the economy, and it's not making it conducive for what? For businesses, right? That's the problem we're having. And it was a simple video. A couple of videos are up there. All those videos I put up last night about gentrification, and we're getting attacked saying this is racist, right? I'm like, huh. So then I remembered what we used to do when I was in the teachers union. I used to file grievances against this, by the way. I used to work for the teachers union. We used to have meetings every Monday. Sometimes we had emergency meetings, and they would talk about social media posts. And they say, these are going against the union or going against our interests, and you need to stop them and post against them. You can hear the sirens in back of us, right? You hear that? And they would give us a script on what to write and what to say, actually. We're going to go up and do the sunset, I think. What do you think, guys? And we'll listen to some radio calls. And I would say, you can't tell us to do that. And they would say, try not to use your union account. Use your personal account like you're a regular person and talk about it. And be you're against it. that's what the union used to do. So I couldn't figure that out until I had a cup of coffee and I sat down and my admins were telling me all these things. And I said, oh, that's the unions. And now it's actually Brandon Johnson working downtown. And no one doesn't understand what I'm saying because I was inside, right? And it's strange that no news medias, none of these right-wing, if you notice this, no right-wing people actually interview me. None. I had one. Center Square interviewed me once. No left-wing people interview me at all. They hate me. And the right hates me too. And it's strange because I'm the only one that's speaking publicly and having my own media company now. And I worked with Brandon Johnson. I worked with Stacey Davis Gates. I worked with Karen Lewis. I worked with Jackson Potter. I know Jackson Potter from 2004. Jackson Potter is now the president of the union. Everybody knows that. So that's 2004. What's this year? 2026. So I know Jackson Potter 22 years. And I know him from before that, from other things. I know his parents, from other things going back to the 80s. So I know what's going on in the city and with the politics for close to 40 years. And how many people have called me for an interview? None. Here, I'm going to tell you this. And then we're going to get to the news. There's a sex scandal that was covered up and enabled by the Chicago Teachers Union. And I was the union rep, and I told them about it. And I said, look, you need to take care of this. This is what's going on. It's Eric Skalinder case. You can Google it. Eric Skalinder. He was a groomer who groomed his students and had sex with them after they graduated. Eric Skalinder. And it's not about the union and Brandon Johnson. They covered it up. That's one part of the story. But I'm going to tell you guys this. I have multiple emails with every news agency in the city of Chicago giving them all the evidence of what happened. Kwame Raoul, the Attorney General of the state of Illinois, has all the evidence. None of them did anything about it. Chicago police have it. None of them have done nothing about it. I'm never going to be writing this up. I've already written it up over the years. Eric Skalinder, you can Google it. He was grooming his students at Kelly High School. He worked there for 10 years. He had a sex dungeon. He had a private sex dungeon. Yeah, purge stuff. He had the purge stuff. He had Epstein stuff in Chicago in the middle of a neighborhood. He had a sex dungeon inside his basement. Then he had a sex dungeon on Armitage, on North Avenue. Now he has a sex dungeon over in Schaumburg. No one knows about this. It's a private club. It's a private sex club. He used to groom his students. And when they graduated, he got them to work in the sex club. He even bragged about having sex with his students after they turned 18. It's on the record. There's records of it. He testified to it. When I was his union rep in the meeting, I said, dude, you shouldn't be saying that, man. You're going to get prosecuted. He goes, I'm not getting prosecuted. I know everybody. His dad was the University of Chicago person. He knows all those rich people. He knows all the Epstein people. Arnie Duncans. He knows all of those from the University of Chicago. You know who those people are, right? Those are the Epstein people. The elites. See, every society has elites. Every society does. Let's listen to the news.
What ICE can and cannot do. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It appears increasingly likely that at midnight tonight, DHS funding for the Coast Guard, for FEMA, and for TSA will lapse. Why? Because Donald Trump and Republicans have decided that they have zero interest in getting ICE under control.
Investigators hope the evidence they've found this week leads them to Nancy Guthrie nearly 2 weeks after the 84-year-old woman vanished. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson.
Investigators did recover gloves during a search of Nancy's neighborhood. A pair was found about 1.5 miles away from here, and those have also been sent out for testing. Authorities confirmed that they have received some DNA evidence results back, but none of them have led to a name for this suspect.
Tomorrow marks 8 years since the shootings that killed 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. CBS Miami's Steve McGarry says the Broward County School District commemorated the date today with a day of service.
Going on there at the bus
It's
stop.
a moment of reflection, reminding them to remember
See
the
that at the
17
bus
people that
stop
were
there?
killed in the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. All of the victims'
SubX.News.
were read aloud.
it just reflects on.
And we stopped the school shootings.
It's very impactful.
Think about this. We had all those school shootings. We haven't done nothing about it. We got Gazas. We don't do nothing about it. We got transgender dildo stuff. We haven't done nothing about it. It's just using people's emotions to distract them from what's happening, that our power is fleeting, right?
On Paramount Plus.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:03, Friday the 13th of February. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Hope you're not too superstitious. I'm Lisa Fielding. We've got 52 degrees, partly cloudy skies, clear tonight. Lows around 30. Tomorrow, much the same, but warmer starting on Sunday through Tuesday. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15, but first at 5. Good news if you live in Chicago and use hemp-derived products. That's because Mayor Johnson vetoed a proposal this afternoon that would have restricted sales in Chicago of Delta 8 and similar products. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz talked with the sponsor of the measure, who now says the effort is dead.
The mayor had been signaling his concerns about the ordinance since 32 aldermen voted to pass it last month.
I do have to weigh the concerns that have been raised, particularly by small businesses.
And in his veto message, he called the move premature. It would have banned sales of intoxicating hemp products to people under 21 and required them to be sold at cannabis dispensaries. The mayor's veto message went on to suggest that any regulation should balance public health priorities with economic considerations. Southwest Side Alderman Marty Quinn sponsored the measure.
You have a compromise ordinance that 32 alders from all over the city of Chicago agree on. And you're going to veto that?
Alderman Quinn would need 2 more votes to override a veto. He says they're not there. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
Dozens of Lakeview High School students are the latest group of teens to stage a walkout demonstration that protests the Trump administration and immigration agents. The lead student organizer is a Lakeview freshman named Morgan. He, like many of the other students, expressed optimism that elected Republicans are now starting to question the tactics used in immigration.
We're at Roosevelt and Canal. Something just happened here at the... Oh, man, they even got undercovers here. So something bad happened here. Let me listen to the radio call. Look at that, man. Traffic, it's all messed up. Chaos, mayhem. Man, there's all kinds of stuff happening here. Chicago, man. Look at that. Look at all the cops. Oh, yeah, there you go. Something just happened down the street. See that there? That's not related to this. You see those undercovers that went going down there? It's mayhem. It's Friday the 13th mayhem. It's happening. It's going down. I don't know where those undercovers went. I can need to listen to the police radio, right? See that? Look. There's undercovers going. Something's going on there. You see that there? They're blasting all the way. I'm trying to listen to the radio and see what's going on. Oh, they went on displays. All right, let's go over there, man. So there's something going on here at Canal and Roosevelt. And now I see a bunch of cops going over. I think they're going on Clinton over there. You see that there in front of us? They're way over there. Let me see where that car turns over there. If he's going straight.
I arrest customer female black gray codes and aggressive with the off-duty PO, giving them a hard time. Female is currently outside the bank with a hammer in her hand, banging on the window, making threats towards the off-duty. Have no additionals on the radio is clear.
So they went on displays over there. We'll go over there. There's something happening downtown, but we stopped here because there's a bunch of ambulance. There's an ambulance and a fire truck. Ambulance 41 and truck 2. Right? There we go, right? And it's mayhem. It's Friday the 13th mayhem. That's all I got to say. So somebody's going into the ambulance there, it looks like. See that there? And it's a nice sunset in the background. It's mayhem, baby. Yeah, I'm not going to say how I'm prepared, but I'm prepared. You want to do some purge activity, we're going to do some purging. And I ain't going to be the one purged. That's all I got to say. You know, these criminals with their threats all the time, these drug dealers that are threatening me, I'm going to say that you need to watch what you say on the internet, my brother and sisters. You should stop threatening people. And especially if you're a criminal with drugs on your pages, selling drugs and prostitution. These people sell drugs and porno right on their pages. It's weird, man. And then they threaten people. There you go, man. Really strange individual that a criminal thinks he has more power than a regular citizen. I don't understand that there, right? It's messed up. It's going to be a wild night today. I'm almost sure of it. And so it begins. And so it begins. And you got a bunch of cops that went in front of us, so we're gonna try to get over there, right? And somebody in an we should wait. You never know what happens. We just wait. We're on one scene. Let's wait here, and let's not go anywhere. That other scene is another scene, right? Just wait here, because you never know what happens on a crime scene. It's a nice sunset, by the way. We're gonna maybe go hit that sunset. Why don't we do that? There's cops went down over there on Clinton over there. What's up, Jason, my brother? Oh, Jason. Uh-oh. We got a Jason on here, man. Are you taking Friday the 13th off or what, bro? Or is that Mike Myers? Which one is Friday the 13th? I don't know, man. Jason, is it? I gotta watch out for you, man. You ain't got a hatchet in your car tonight, do you, bro? And your ski mask, right? Or whatever the what's it called? Hockey mask. All right, so we're going to go check out another scene soon. Take it easy, Citizen app. It's 5:19 p.m. Friday the 13th, 2026. South Loop, Chicago. Canal and Roosevelt. There you go, right? Let's keep moving, right? I don't know, man. We ain't having dinner tonight, my brother. I know that. I think we're going to do a little sunset. We're going to... I know the cops went down this way, that set of cops, right? But we're going to relax a little bit today, before it gets too crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
I have some days off next week.
The Chicago Park District is offering 2 free events next week when students are out of school. On President's Day, Monday, February 16th, Teen Field Day takes over Gateway Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Youth ages 14 to 18 can compete in high-energy games, bubble soccer-style activities, esports, music, and team challenges. The next day, February 17th, is Girls' Day of Play. It returns to 21 parks citywide, giving girls ages 5 to 16 a full day of athletics, art, skating, swimming, martial arts, and team building activities. Park officials say the goal is to promote active living and safe spaces while school is out. Registration is free.
Safe spaces.
News Radio 105.9.
Yeah, why don't you lock up criminals?
Her unorthodox approach to medicine will inspire people to take charge of their own health.
Dr. Fenwell Millhouse is a board-certified, fellowship-trained urologist and the co-founder and co-CEO of Down There Urology in Chicago. Dr. Millhouse tells the Noon Business Hour that the cheeky approach to medicine makes patients feel comfortable about what could be an uncomfortable topic.
Because urology includes genitals, sexual health, and like
Things that people don't normally want to open up and talk to.
In addition to her social media
went down this
presence,
street,
Milhouse is also
Jefferson.
the star of a TLC network reality show called Dr.
We're going to do a little sunset here.
News Radio
We need a little sunset in our lives.
WBBM.
Well, Woodstock really might have been right. It's really starting to feel like spring today.
People are all jacked up.
20 degrees anymore, or like -10, so that's a good thing.
Celebrating that improvement, we've seen a woman running across the street in slingback heels, not clunky winter boots, and middle school kids enjoying recess without jackets, although they are notorious for their immunity to the weather. Rushin, an international student at Northwestern, was beaming in the sunshine.
So I just hope this continues and the weather doesn't drop again. There was this one week in January or December that was just negative Fahrenheit. So I hope that was the coldest point we've reached. But the sun makes me feel really hopeful.
Eamon is glad to be visiting from Pittsburgh.
There's still snow on the ground. There's still a foot of snow, But yeah, it's not a lot nicer here.
In downtown Evanston, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
How long will the spring weather last? We're going to check in with AccuWeather coming up. The 5-day forecast next.
Stay on top of the news. Sign up for
All right, let's get some sunset, and then we're going to go do some crime chasing. I'm going to try to figure out what those cops were doing there while I'm up on this roof.
Why can I get an event for 95th Red Line?
It's going to be a wild night tonight. That's for sure.
0950. 095.
Yeah, I don't know why criminals think they can do whatever the fuck they want.
09509.
These fuckers doing, man, running around on the roof with their bicycles. Oh man, look at that sunset over there. There we go, man. Oh, they're gonna do a TikTok video riding down. I bet you going fast. I know what you guys are gonna do. You guys gonna make a nice video going down the thing. There's one. You go to the Marianos. They're super steep. You ever go to those? Oh man, watch out! Don't get run over, man. Oh man, don't worry about me. SubX.News, by the way, I do live feeding and stuff like that, crime chasing. Those are nice bikes, man. You guys be safe. Yeah, but the Marianos, if you want to go fast, go up on the Marianos. They're that steep. Just watch out, don't get run over by some knucklehead, all right? Have a good weekend, fellas. All right, young kids having fun, man. That's what you got to encourage, right? There we go. We're gonna get some sunset here. Did we miss it, or am I? Oh my gosh! Look at that sun. We're gonna sit right here. How about that? We're gonna sit right here. This is gonna be oh man shit. I'm driving over a curb there, man. We're gonna sit right here in a private spot. Look at that. Yoo-hoo! We got it. That's for you, Marietta. There you go. Sunset. There we go. There you go. How about that one? Is that beautiful or what?
That's Adam. And can we get a check?
That's for you, young lady. And we're going to try to figure out what's going on, where the crime is at.
09529.
And I got my radio with me today. So in case something goes wrong in the car, right? There you go, man. Enjoy the sunset there, right? So, hey, Marietta, speaking of fun stuff to do, let's talk about fun stuff. Would you want me to set up, you want to go camping this summer to our ranch? I can set it up. Look, you're in the wilderness, but not really in the wilderness. It's in the middle of a town. I'll set some up. You want to go camping overnight? I'll set something up, all right? If you want to, right? There you go. Look at that beautiful sunset there. Is that beautiful or what? Now we'll go do some crime chasing or something, right? It's beautiful out, everybody. And I'm working on the crime stuff, trust me. I haven't forgot. I think I got your RD number, your police report. I got it. Oh, man, my thing just broke. My radio just broke. Oh, well. Well. That's the way life goes. Oh, you know what? I might be able to do it a different way. Let's see. No, that ain't going to work. It broke. My handle broke off my ham radio. See that? It just broke the plastic off of it. How about this? I got a ham radio. I'm a ham radio operator. I don't use a scanner. I use it. I'm a licensed FCC ham radio operator. So I don't use... Scanners are illegal in Chicago, by the way. I break those every so often. Beautiful out, huh? Yeah, I'm thinking about, the police helicopter's up there. You see that there? There's a police helicopter flying over there.
Boy. 7387 boy. 7387 boy, what's up? Squad, can you give us a bunch at same minute now, Jim? 10-4-09600. 09600.
There you go. It's a beautiful sunset, ain't it?
David. Yes, can we get a back over the upper Roosevelt red line? 09617. 09617. 17 or 47? 17. 4, thank you. You're welcome.
It's really nice outside. So what I was saying about the Skalinder case, this guy was grooming his students. He was a high school band teacher at Kelly High School.
3214. 19 boy, let me get him out to North Ave and Lakeshore Drive.
He did it for 10 years.